Hi, this is Marcus Pulis, and this is Aquarian Anarchy. It's been a couple weeks since I broadcast last time, or I guess uploaded to YouTube last time. Before I forget about it, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, do all that stuff. Hit that little bell icon, go to my store, get yourself a Voluntaryist t-shirt, get yourself all kinds of stuff. We got lots of fun stuff. Last week, there really wasn't anything to talk about, and I've been exceptionally busy with working for Adam Kokesh and, frankly, getting ready myself, buying things like Bitcoin and guns. So I've been busy and getting my garden ready. So I've been busy doing a bunch of stuff. There wasn't anything particularly pressing, so I decided not to do an episode last week. Chad, who has joined me for the last two episodes, is not obviously able to make it to this one. He is moving, and so that was another issue that came up for last weekend, is that both of us really couldn't make it. So this week I can, and what I thought I would cover is Justin Amash. For those of you who follow libertarian stories, you would be hard-pressed not to know that Justin Amash has entered the libertarian race. I will get into what I think about that a little bit farther down into this broadcast. But first, I'm going to cover one of the first pieces, and this is from the Dispatch, that came out, and you'll find out probably a third to two-thirds of the way through why I'm covering the Dispatch instead of somebody else. And so the title of the article is Justin Amash Made His Decision. Will he be a spoiler? For those of you that don't know about anything about libertarian politics, Justin Amash is a ex-Republican who certainly his voting record is much more libertarian than almost anybody else. The only person I think has a better libertarian record in Congress is Thomas Massey. I think that Amash actually is better than Rand Paul in the Senate, but he was still a Republican, and last year he stopped being a Republican. So that kind of gives you the background. Some of you who might have seen this Amash picture that I'm going to have up and are kind of new to libertarian politics, you should know that Justin Amash is not the only candidate that we have in the Libertarian Party. I will be naming all of the major candidates off next by the end of this article as I cover other issues. I personally work for Adam Kokesh. I am his press secretary and am friends with several different candidates, including Dan Berman. I also consider Vermin Supreme a friend. I consider any number of them friends. Joe Jorgensen I consider a friend. There are several libertarians that are running for president that I have either met, know, or consider a friend. And an example of somebody that I have met and thought he was a great guy, but he isn't really a friend, is somebody like John Mons. So anyway, I wanted to dive into this article about Amash. So Justin Amash is probably running for president. He's been probably running for president since last July. And when he was probably running for president in last July, my friend Adam Kokesh, who is running for president and has been running for president for 2 years, came out and said, "Welcome aboard. Come on in. We need competition. We need ideas. We need those kinds of things." He encouraged him to run for president. He also encouraged him to switch his affiliation in July of last year to Libertarians, so that the Libertarian Party would have a sitting congressman. So, he's probably running for president. He's toyed with the idea for over a year, describing himself as an ideal third-party candidate. Notice that he didn't. Notice that he didn't say ideal libertarian candidate at libertarian conferences, posting cryptic tweets about Americans, quote, deserving another option, repeatedly refusing to rule out a campaign whenever reporters asked. But the months dragged on. The Libertarian Party held primary after primary, debate after debate, and Amash remained an onlooker. Pundits began to speculate his flirtation with the national campaign was a ploy to boost fundraising for the increasingly uphill challenge he was facing at home. But at precisely 8 p.m. this past Tuesday, a new Twitter account, Amash for America, was born, breaking the news via Nintendo Super Smash Bros. Meme that a new candidate had arrived on the scene. So, technically, Amash launched his exploratory committee, a vehicle through which candidates can test the waters before officially taking the presidential plunge. But he's already done plenty of exploring. Quote, Americans are ready for practical approaches based in humility and trust of the people. He wrote, we are ready for a presidency that will restore respect for our Constitution and bring people together. I'm excited and honored to be taking these first steps towards serving Americans of every background as president. You can tell he's a politician because you're going, that fancy words he just said, he's about to say them again. And again. And again. And again. Because that's all he says. So, Amash, who formerly left the Republican Party last July, will have to move quickly to assert himself in the Libertarian Party. No, he won't. Half these people are woo right now. He's not going to have to assert crap. Which he just airdropped. Into which he just airdropped. Winning the nomination would immediately give him an advantage over third-party candidates for one reason: ballot access. Therein lies the reason why Justin Amash has become a libertarian, y'all people that think he's a libertarian. Because he gets our ballot access. He is a conservative with libertarian leanings. That's grand. I'm an anarchist with libertarian leanings. So, the libertarians have this great prize, right? Matt Welch, quoting Matt Welch, editor-at-large at Reason, who have been just cheerleading for him to get in forever. And anybody that's not libertarian, they are all about. I know Matt Welch personally. I like Matt Welch personally. As a libertarian, I do not like him. He is not very libertarian. He is a conservative with libertarian leanings. Anyway, Matt Welch, editor-at-large of Reason magazine, told the Dispatch earlier this year they're going to be on 50 ballots, probably, and nobody else is going to come close to that. And all you have to do is win a majority of delegates of 1,000 votes in Austin, Texas in May, and you get to be on 50 ballots. That's true. Except there's a bunch of other candidates running, but we'll get into that in a minute. I think he would get the Libertarian Party nomination, Welch said, probably because you in the chair, Nicholas Sarwark, who is a turd rolled in pig vomit, have been cheerleading for him forever because Nick, unfortunately, may have at one time been a libertarian, but now he has sold his soul to the devil and said that he would vote for Dick Cheney if he had an L next to his name. So, let's make my opinion clear. Make it clear as can be. I've tried to be nice to Nick. Nick has, since this article came out, said that he would love to be Justin Amash's running mate. I'm not saying this because I got anything to win or lose, but I'm saying, fuck you, Nick. You have ignored everybody else up until now. And I'm not talking about just Adam. I'm talking about everyone. I'm talking about people from Joe Jorgensen all the way down the line. You have done nothing but ignore our candidates for over 2 years. Fuck you. You know, to think that my ass would ever vote for your piece of shit ass, if you are the LP vice presidential candidate for anybody, there is no way in hell I'm voting for you. Let me put it this way. Let me put it very clearly. I love Adam, and I think that Adam has a fantastic shot. And to be clear, this will never happen. There is not a universe that exists that this will happen. But if Adam decided you would be a good VP candidate, I would tell Adam, here is my resignation, and you will not be getting my vote. Fuck Nick Sarwark. I think I've made that clear. So anyway, back to, well, Matt Welch saying that he thinks that he would get the Libertarian Party nomination. He's very revered in the Libertarian world generally. If you had to name one person who people within the party would want to see run for office, I think the name is Justin Amash. I completely disagree. The party's convention is scheduled to kick off in Austin, Texas on May 21st, which it is not going to do. They've already said that's not going to happen. But the coronavirus has all but officially put the kibosh on the plan. Quote, none of us know what it's going to be like at this point in time, the party's executive director, Dan Fishman, told the Dispatch. Quote, and I know Dan too. Dan and I are friends. I like Dan. Dan's a little wormy at times, and, you know, I don't know that I trust Dan, but I like him generally. Quote, we do know that it will be for sure before August. The Libertarian National Committee is scheduled to meet virtually on Saturday to weigh the proposed alternatives. And they still have not made that choice for sure. They have said that they are preferring a physical convention, although they have floated a amendment to that to where digitally you vote for the president and vice president. I got news for you guys. I wasn't a member of the Libertarian Party until Adam Kokesh. I am Adam Kokesh away from being an agorist. I don't give a shit who you... I've seen who you elect to be your leaders. There are some good people. Karen Ann Harlow's perfect example. Wonderful person. Would elect the shit out of her. She's great. But the majority of those losers are pieces of shit. And I don't have any care if they think that or if they know that I say that, because I plan on changing that. Because I'm a real libertarian. And I'm not saying that I cast aside all minarchists. I don't. But I certainly will work with people who will work with me, not with people who work against me, and people who work to try to minimize the impact of ideas of liberty. So, frankly, I don't give a damn. So anyway, they're getting ready. They have said that they may actually hold the convention later on this summer, which I won't go to, but if they do this. But I mean, right now I'm a delegate. To be clear, I am a delegate from Indiana for the Libertarian Party. That is what I am. And if they hold this in, say, Missouri, I'm gonna make it there. I'm gonna put myself in there and gonna vote. And but if they decide to just do the presidential, vice presidential digitally, I'm going to vote for them and then get 50 if I'm not doing anything else. So that's what it is. Although the party has already held nearly 10 state primaries and caucuses, it's more than that, because several of them have been done digitally. Amash's late start puts him at no real disadvantage, really. Delegates at the convention are not bound to one candidate or another. That's true. His number one priority per Fishman should be building a campaign team that knows how the Libertarian Party operates. Because he doesn't have any idea. He said recently, I don't even know what the platform says. I had to read that. Do you think you might want to read the platform, you fucking pompous ass? decide, I'm just going to be the presidential candidate. I ain't never read a damn thing about your party, but I'm going to be in charge. Fucking ass clown. Anyway, having libertarians who have run for presidential candidates before, who knows how to whip delegates, that's going to be a critical thing. Yeah, you're right, it is. Ben Fishman said, emphasizing the importance of connecting with convention goers. You get 2 words from me. Call me up. See, Jacob Hornberger called me, and this is what he got. Because I didn't answer the damn phone, because I don't talk to the dude. Jim Gray called me. I said, hey, Jim Gray, how's it going? And I talked to him for a minute. Seems like a nice guy. Justin Amash calls me. He's going to get 2 words. Fuck you. There we go. How about some of that? Anyway, 80% of whom he estimates are still undecided. Amash's newfound primary opponents accepted him to the race on Tuesday with varying degrees of open arms. Quote, Congressman Amash's entry into the race for the Libertarian Party presidential nomination provides a big benefit to the LP. Current frontrunner Jacob Hornberger told the Dispatch in an email, quote, it not only brings an air of excitement to the race, it also focuses the attention of the national media to the LP presidential debates that are still left before the National Nominating Convention in May. Marcus Pulis. That's right. That's me. They interviewed my ass for this. A spokesman for Adam Kokesh's campaign. Poor Adam. Poor Adam gets my ass. But it is. Said, quote, he welcomed Amash to the race, which I do. And as like Adam said before, I think he does add, so he has lots to add. And saying that this congressman, who is the most libertarian congressman, maybe, I still think Massey's more, but it wouldn't be welcome? Shut up. Of course he'd be welcome. Come on in. Get your shit lined up. We need you you be in the house, okay? You stay in the house, and you vote like a month against war. You vote to legalize drugs. You do all that craziness. There you do. Do that. There you go. Got your job. So, but added that, quote, we do regret that Amash did not choose to join the Libertarian Party when he left the GOP. This choice deprived the Libertarian Party of a chance to have a sitting congressman. Now, to be clear, since this article was written, Amash has become an official Libertarian. There is a yellow dot amongst the red and blue. But, come on. Why didn't he do it in July? Why did he not do it in July? The answer to that is because he's using the party. So, anyway, if Amash does pull out the nomination, the question immediately becomes, can he eclipse Gary Johnson and Bill Weld's Libertarian record, 3.2% of the popular vote in 2016? The answer to that is no. I do not believe that Amash will pull as much excitement as Gary Johnson or Bill Weld. That being said, I think he would be awful for the party as the candidate because it will be the 4th time that a former Republican in the last 4 in a row elections ran for office. And we are not a used car sales place for used up GOP congressmen and governors and such. So, no, I don't think that he will get higher, because he's not going to get me. See, I am not voting for Justin Amash, just to be clear, not voting. There's a bunch of other Libertarian candidates I will not be voting for. You know, I'm going to take a pause from this. A lot of people in anarchist circles are voting is violence and you shouldn't vote. Okay, I don't care. I'm going to do whatever it takes to get the message of liberty to as far out there as I possibly can. Part of that involves voting, being on the stage, being noticed. It's a whole lot harder to ignore people who are being supported by the 3rd largest and putting them in what's a libertarian, on the ballot. So all that stuff matters. So do I think that we're going to vote ourselves into freedom? Fuck no, I don't think we're going to vote ourselves into freedom. That's stupid. Freedom comes when people decide they want to be free. It's that damn simple. It really is. And but that doesn't mean I don't want to use the platform given to me and to Adam, for that matter, to educate people. And I'm not saying that Adam's not running to win. He is running to win. I'm just saying that that's not my number one priority. My number one priority is getting more and more people. Because, you know, all these people, if Adam gets, because Adam is talking about dissolving the federal government. If he wins, then Congress will just will ignore that. They're not going to. You have missed the point. The point is we will have removed the illusion, because it's not really there anyway, the illusion of the consent of the governed. And by doing so, if people voted, if 60% of the American people decided to vote for the dissolution of the federal government, there is nothing a bunch of people in Washington, D.C. can do to stop it. And again, that will not be the ballot box winning. That will be a concerned group of people, 60% of the population of the United States, making a decision. So, back to the article. Quote, "It's not fair to think Amash will be better funded than Johnson and positioned as a more legitimate candidate, laying righteous claim to being the lone deficit hawk in the race." Veteran Republican strategist Bob Stutzman told the Dispatch, "Amash had the best fundraising quarter of his political career to close out 2019, but he'll need far more than $644,000 cash on hand," he reported at the end of March, to launch a 50-state campaign. Amash has said he would not run for president unless he believed he could win, but his most significant role in the race will likely be a spoiler. In other words, he's going to vouch for Mr. Biden. Okay, you can say all you want about, let's use somebody other than Adam. You can say all you want about Vermin Supreme. He is not going to vouch. He's not in this to spoil it. Sort of. But Dan's not in this to spoil it. Mr. Hornberger is not in this to spoil it. John Mons is not in this to spoil it. They are trying to win. They are trying to win. They're trying to get these ideas out there, trying to build the party. They're trying to do those kinds of things. Justin Amash is trying to keep a legacy going. Stutzman was torn between over whether Amash's presence would do more damage to Donald Trump or Biden. Shut up! He is not going to pull one vote from Joe Biden. Not one. He only hurts Donald Trump. That's why the media is like, yay! Is because they know that. So, quote, "Amash would create a substantial complication for Trump in the Midwest states and Arizona. He must win to replicate his electoral college jiu-jitsu. In 2016, Trump won all of these states with pluralities, not majorities," he said in an email. But he added that the 5-term congressman from Michigan, quote, "could possibly complicate Biden's attempt to recapture college-educated suburbanites," shut up, and voted for Democrats in 2016 by giving them a non-Trump alternative to vote for that isn't burdened with sucking up to Bernie Sanders and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez progressives. They don't care about that. The Democrats are the Democrats. Bernie Sanders should have won. It was all bullshit that he pulled out. He would have won. If they had done that shit fairly, which they didn't, he would have won. So this idea that there is anything but progressives in the Democratic Party is bullshit. Ultimately, Stutzman concluded, Amash in the race is most likely bad news for Trump. Yep. If he can build a voter coalition to the high single digits or 10% nationally, he'll likely ensure Trump's demise and possibly open a lane for like-minded candidates for 2022. State House and gubernatorial races are aligned by both parties. Amash hasn't yet publicly been polled in a three-way race against Trump and Biden. Why would he? Because the shit's not done yet. He is not the candidate. But a recent Suffolk University USA Today poll found a generic third-party candidate drew more votes from Biden. And they killed that shit with Amash. The former vice president led Trump 44% to 38% if respondents were offered an additional option. Biden's lead jumps to 10 points, 50%, 40% to 40% if that additional option was eliminated. A former national GOP campaign manager concurred with this data, arguing that an Amash third-party candidacy could be viewed as an in-kind donation to the Trump campaign. I think the nation is divided into Trump versus never Trump, he said. Whatever you think of Amash, the ability to speak truth to power, to adhere to his pre-Trump principles, something his Freedom Caucus cohorts were unable to do, it makes no sense to divide the vote of anyone who thinks this president is a fraud and a failure. Bottom line is they're trying to make a case that he could pull from Biden. That's bullshit. He is conservative. Those people are not going to vote for him. A spokesperson for the Trump campaign declined to weigh in on Amash's entry into the race, and Biden campaign did not respond to a request for comment. Amash's campaign's website is thus far pretty sparse, you think, but in an interview with the Dispatch in January, he outlined that a hypothetical third-party bid might look like. Quote, members of Congress have miscalculated, he said. I think they are making assumptions about how partisan their constituents are that are not correct. It is true that a small percentage of the population is very politically active and will be either cheerleading for the president or opposed to the president on everything. But most people are pretty moderate. That's bullshit. It just is. Most people don't care. But the people that do, I'd weigh in that if given the circumstances, more of them are libertarian than we give them credit for, if you give them a libertarian to vote for. Amash is not that. Amash added that the libertarians in particular are, quote, under the impression that they have to persuade people of something that is wholesale change to them, and that's not the case. What? They have not done anything wholesale change. Nothing. Not a thing. Gary Johnson was a washed-up Republican. Like Gary, but he was a washed-up Republican. Is what it is. So when people ask me, when has libertarianism ever been tried? I would say the United States of America. This is the most libertarian country that has ever been known. I think most Americans are already there, he argued. It's not a matter of persuading them of principles. It's persuading them that they are applying the principles they already believe in. So that's the article that I was quoted in. Yay! So I went and looked up his site. So go there. It'll be down below. This is what it says. There's a picture of Amash there. It's very similar. You might say that it looks a lot like the cover without libertarian symbolism. So, we're ready for something new. This is from the site. For a government that secures our rights, for equality before the law, for a government that fulfills its purpose and recognizes its limits, for practical approaches based in humility and trust of the people, for an honest, principled president who will defend the Constitution and put individuals first. Words that he will not ever get elected on. So, we're ready for something new. How is he something new? Ron Paul tried this. Inside, both outside and inside the party. How is he? Are you going to try to tell me he's better than Ron Paul? He lost. I worked for Ron Paul. I know. I worked very hard in Indiana to try to get Ron Paul elected. Failure. For a government that secures our rights. A government, by its nature, is a territorial monopoly of force and violence. It's like saying, to protect your rights, let's give criminals weapons. And let them rule over you. That's a good idea right there. Anyway, for equality before the law. Fancy words. Equality before the law. The law, there is no equality before the law. The law is, you do what the fuck I tell you to, or I'll come with a gun and shoot you or throw you in a rape cage. That's the law. Now, I realize John Locke's law. It's different, natural law, but not the law he's talking about. He's talking about what's sitting in some papers. He apparently has predilection to liking papers. For a government that fulfills its purposes. Our government fulfills its purposes perfectly. It steals from you, it murders your kids, it keeps you under wraps, it throws you in your house when it wants you to. Those are its purposes because it is a government to govern. These are people that are designed to try to keep you under control. That's its purpose. And recognizes its limits. I'll get into its limits in a minute. Fuck it. I'll get into it now. So this is what one of my best friends in the whole world said. Not really. He just definitely was a big influence on me. This is Murray Rothbard. He said, advocates of a limited government often hold up the ideal of a government umpire, arbitrating impartially between contending factions in society. Yet why should governments do so? The state and its rulers will act to maximize their power and wealth and hence inexorably expand beyond the supposed limits. Every damn time. There has never been any situation where that's not true. That always happens. That is the nature of government. So this recognizes its limits is some bullshit, and you better just get ready. For practical approaches based in humility and trust of the people. Shut up. That doesn't mean nothing. That doesn't mean nothing. He said nothing there. There's a sentence with nothing in it. For an honest, principled president. So your master's honest. I'm gonna whoop your ass. You ready? Come on. Principled. If you're principled, you're not trying to rule people. So you can't be the principled president. And that happens. So who will defend the Constitution? I hate to tell you this, Justin, but you can't do it alone. If you're going to work within the system, you are going to need Congress to work on with your ass. And how have they worked out so far? How often does Congress come on out and agree with Justin Amash? Do you think they're going to after you're not one of them anymore? Now that you're a libertarian, do you think they're just going, oh yeah, of course? No, they're going to fight even harder and put individuals first. You're putting individuals first, putting yourself first. So that's it. That is it. I read that twice and commented like fuck all over it. Oh, I've forgotten something that is also on the webpage. This is all that's on the webpage. All that nonsense. And a donate button. That's it. That is absolutely every bit of Congressman Amash's website. Ain't nothing else. Big picture of him. Oh, I got news for you. I ain't voting for you, butthead. Okay, what I want you to do is you can go down, get that Amash for president, go look at it. Just go look at it. It's nothing, one page. With a couple lines on it, some shit. Picture of him. And that's it. That is the entirety of it. Then, I want you to compare that to Adam Kokesh's page. All kinds of shit. Got a menu button and drop down their shit on there. Talks about what he's going to do. All that. You can go follow links. You can do all this stuff, right? For Adam Kokesh's page. Adam's trying to dissolve the federal government. So, Dan Behrman, 2020, go to his page. Got all kinds of shit. Got a picture of Dan with a flag. Taxation and stuff. Dan Behrman is got all kinds of links, got all kinds of stuff that talks about, and don't get me wrong, all of these people that donate somewhere, but Vermin got a picture up, but Vermin talks about issues. Vermin talks about issues. Justin Amash doesn't talk about issues, but Vermin does, for sure. Vote Vora. Arvin Vora, go to his page. He's down there too. He's got all kinds of shit. They ain't gonna win for shit. I like Arvin, but he's not gonna win. That dude is not gonna win. It is what it is. But he's got a hell of a lot better website than Justin Amash does. Gray Sharp. Now, I said before, I thought that Judge Jim Gray was a nice dude. I do think Judge Gray was a nice dude, and I think that as I've watched, I cannot vote for that dude either. Oh, everybody I listed thus far, I can vote for. Until Judge Jim Gray. Now, I can vote for Larry Sharpe like a mug. Larry Sharpe's the guy he's got running for his VP. He's talked about localization. Adam quotes him constantly. So I'm all about some Sharpe, but I am not voting for Jim Gray. I'm not doing it. He's come out way for too much status crap. So, not going to do it. So, Jo Jorgensen. Go check her stuff out. Just a picture of her. Look, ooh, she got big eyes. I like Jo. She's a good person. Will not vote for her. No, not going to vote for her. Jacob for Liberty. He has lots and lots and lots of ideas and not a single plan, but they're all in. They're all in the website. Unlike Amash, he doesn't even have any plans. He doesn't have any plans, no ideas. Just I'm awesome. Look at my picture. So that's it. So in John Mons, who I again have met, can't vote for. And if you think I'm voting for Jacob Hornberger to fuck everything up, I can't help you. Because if you're gonna try to tear some shit apart, you want to have a plan, and no plan. Just wanting to tear shit apart. I want to tear stuff apart. Okay, great. How? I'm still waiting. Dan's got plans to defund it all, do all that. He got a plan. Adam's got a plan. Dissolve federal government, turn power back to the states. Jacob's like, tear it all down, and let God sort him out. So, anyway, back to John Mons. John Mons, good dude, won't vote for him. Good dude. He might get on board one of these days with localization, and if he does, I'll vote for him. Not there yet. So, that's everybody. So, are you really ready? One of the things you're saying, Mr. Amash, is, I'm ready. Are you really? Are you really ready, Mr. Congressman? Being that you can't even put together what the Libertarian Party stands for. You can't put together any of this crap. You can't figure anything out. You can't even put a decent website together with anything but a picture. I can put a picture on a website. I'm not that good at computers. I could do that. No, you are not ready. You are not ready to even begin to get this party behind you. One of the things that Sidewalk told me, and I was trying really hard to be nice to Chairman Sidewalk, and I told him, because he said, what I want to see is I want to see when this is all said and done. And this was, to be fair, was not just said to me. This was said to all of the libertarians at the convention, at the special dinner after he had to pay for. So anyway, so I'm there, paid for it. Anyway, so he said, I want whoever our nominee is to embrace the other nominee's people. That makes some sense. I agree with that. You know, because you want to try to bring them together. We're all libertarians, right? That's what the idea is. Bring them all together. Get a bunch of people that work for other candidates together. That way they can bring their people together. You know, those kinds of things. What do you think chances are Amash is going to do that? He's not going to do that. He's not a libertarian. He doesn't have any friends in the Libertarian Party. All right, not any is too far. He has few. He has few friends. So he's not going to do that. He's just not going to do that. It sucks that he's not going to do that because, again, had he come in last July, we could have built something. You know, we might be having a different conversation. But what I want to point out is I have watched, not only outside of all of this crap, not only have I watched all of these libertarians come together, I watched them work as a team. I watched Adam and Dan go hang out and do some stuff. I watched Adam talk to John Mons. I watched a bunch of these people work together, understanding that they're different, but respecting one another. Who do you think is more likely, Mr. Chairman, to bring other people into their campaign? You think it's Adam Kokesh, who already is working with people from Dan's campaign, from Arvin's campaign, has done everything that he can for a variety of candidates, has already reached out to John McAfee, who has already, you get my point. And all of these people have also reached out. You know, who's more likely? Certainly not Congressman Amash. Like, that's supposed to matter to me. I'm an anarchist. I don't care about your authority. Fuck your authority. And I damn sure am not going to roll over for whoever the fuck you put up. Libertarian Party, you get a chance. There are people that are running other than Adam. I will vote for Adam, and that is where it's going to go. And I will continue to vote for Adam until I cannot anymore. And if Dan's still on the list, I'll vote for Dan. And if Dan's not on the list, I'll vote for Vermin. And if Vermin's not on the list, I'll vote for McAfee. And if McAfee's not on the list, I'll vote for Arvin. But that's it. And there are a lot of other libertarians just like me. There are other libertarians that have seen the hard work that these people, and some of them are are going to vote for Gray, and are going to vote for Joe Jorgensen, are going to vote for Mons, are going to vote for maybe, I don't know where Jacob's coming from, but I apparently doing well, but I don't get it, but okay. But, okay, so some of these people are going to pull in other people. That's how you build a strong party, not by yanking somebody from the Republican Party and putting them in, or even from the Democratic Party. And I get that people come to being a libertarian. I get that. I did that. I started out as a communist, for goddamn sake. The 9/11 happened, it scared the crap out of me, and I became a Republican. And then Ron Paul dragged me away from that shit. So, and then it's been step after step until I'm an anarchist. But I get that people take a journey. I get it. Justin's isn't done yet. And it damn sure isn't far enough done to walk into the Libertarian Party and be coronated in months. We have talked, several of these candidates have been well over a year. Adam has been for 2 years. It's a slap in the face to all the hard work we've done spreading libertarian ideas for 2 years. Sorry, Mr. Amash, you will never get my vote. Not once. You have cut yourself off. If you run this time and then run next time, I'm done. I am not going to vote for you, and that's the reason why. So if you want to compare his website to Trump's and Biden's, sure, again, they have donations, feature point. They also have other links. They have other places you can go. They say some shit. You are not ready, Mr. Congressman, and you should have stayed home. So, there's what I have to say this week. Won't be popular? I don't care. I just don't care. You know, I'm supposed to play nice. I do. I will not back down on from principles. I won't do it. I will vote for Voluntaryist, and that's it. I will not shy away from my goal, which is a world set free in my lifetime. Justin Amash does not do that. Many of these others do not do that, but at least I respect them for playing in the libertarian game. I at least respect them for offering respect to the Libertarian Party, for working hard. I mean, come on. Jo Jorgensen has been involved since the 90s. Or I think she's been involved since the 70s. She ran for the VP place in the 90s. A long time. You know, all of these people. Adam's been in the Libertarian Party since he got back from Iraq, and he voted Libertarian before that. These people have put long, hard hours into a party. It is wrong to let somebody just walk in at the last minute and take it fuck over. And if they do that, you lose me. And you don't lose me once. Sure, if Adam runs again, I'll do my stuff for him. Sure, because we're friends. Adam's my buddy. I'll work for Adam. Damn sure won't work for the others, and I certainly won't vote for them. And I'm talking about anybody that's not voluntarist. Now, I might show up and vote. Joe Jorgensen gets it. Man, not going. She looks like she might get 10%. I'm there for you, Joe. Cast my vote too. Looks like she can get us some kind of headway. I'm there. Not gonna. Because what we need, one thing you're right about, Mr. Amash, we need something different, and you ain't it. And we need to try this a new way. We've tried it your way over and over and over again. It is time for something different. Let's try being libertarians. How about that? How about we try to be libertarians? So back to that, and to Amash's minarchism. Another quote from Murray Rothbard, similar to the one before. He said, "There is no reason to assume that a compulsory monopoly of violence, once acquired by any state rulers, will remain limited to the protection of persons and property. Certainly, historically, no government has long remained limited in this way." End quote. I have hope for the Libertarian Party. I hope that they will discard Amash just like they discarded Bill Weld. Yes, Amash is better than Bill Weld. There's no question. Should Amash be a congressman? Absolutely. Maybe a libertarian governor. Maybe he could be anything. But don't walk in at the last minute and try to be president. Thank you for watching. Again, please like, share, comment. Hopefully some Amash supporters get on here and give me hell, because I'd love to argue with you. Anyway, thank you very much for your time, and stay free.